Hello. Hiya, welcome to another episode of Word Up. I've got my good friend Luke McGibbon here. We're just going to have an excellent talk, and I know this for certain because we've already had it. Just letting you know that we are both doing the Beehive.
We are.
I'm MCing.
We're doing it on the 26th. The Beehive Bar in West
26th of April, is that?
Yes, that's the one. And
Yes,
I think it's
it is.
Willie Thompson headlining, I believe.
Willie Thompson's headlining. I'm
be a banger.
MCing. Luke McGibbon. It's going to be great crack. And please come and see me. If this is going out on Saturday, next Saturday, I am up in Strabane for the Strabanter in Charlie's Bar. I'm doing the boiler room, so it's going to be brilliant crack.
Boiler room's great,
if you can come out and see me, I would highly appreciate that. And also, I'm doing Lisburn and Thornbury's, and I'm doing like all these other places that I can't remember. What about you, Luke? So
I'm doing Lisburn and Thornbury's with you.
Oh yes, Luke is opening for me in Lisburn.
I think I'm doing. No, what have we got here? I'm doing beer tasting with a comedian on Sunday the 28th.
Where's that? The Sunflower?
Sunflower. It's Darren's gig there with Alan Irwin and Ro Boyle.
That looks awesome.
I love those guys.
Is it cider tasting?
Oh yeah, cider tasting with McIvers now.
Because I remember actually looking at it going, why do I not drink anymore? Oh yeah, because I'm an alcoholic. But I wished that I did, because that looks really fun.
That does look a good crack, doesn't it? I'm sure I mean, I don't know if you have to actually drink with them. I don't know. You could bring a dud up on stage and say nothing.
I should go and bring like the non-alcoholic ciders.
Yeah,
Try
you
those.
should. Yeah, apple juice, basically.
Yeah, just apple juice. Fizzy apple juice.
That
55 versus Apple Taser.
That Thornbury show is the 10th of May.
10th of May, yes. Come see us in Thornbury's.
MCing Jack McKee's solo show on the Sunflower on the 11th of May.
Awesome.
That's just my friend's birthday.
Your friend's birthday?
Yeah, my friend's birthday.
Sinead's birthday.
Did Lurgan Laughs on the 17th of May.
Lurgan Laughs.
I'm giving you everything here.
Go for it. 17th of May.
Yeah, you know, I'm supporting Darren McKay and his solo show in Derry on the 26th of May. Though I think by support he's doing like a podcast before the show or something. He's trying something a little different.
Ooh.
And then we're doing something in Dublin on the 30th of May, but you don't have to.
That's awesome.
I don't expect you to come to that. That's quite
doing
far.
Dublin. Well, if you're in Dublin, look him up.
First message.
Look for Luke McGibb. Who is Luke McGibb?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Ooh, thank you. I hope you enjoy the episode.
You're throwing digs these days, aren't you? As well,
I'm throwing loads of digs. So we am. Well, I'm not throwing any digs, to be honest.
Would you bet on you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
Simply because I'm a gambling addict.
Who are you against?
I am fighting Diona Doherty.
Oh fuck! Oh right, yeah, that's
so
a
she
toughie.
can rest assured in the knowledge that I have done absolutely nothing. Do you know what I have done to prepare for this fight? I've got my nails trimmed. That was the most important thing. I went to the girl who does my nails and I said, Stacey, we need to take these nails down.
Yeah.
We need to have shorter pincers so that they can fit in a boxing glove.
Right.
And that is all I've done to prepare for the fight. That's it.
Yeah. Got your hair done.
Got my hair done. Got my eyelashes done.
Yeah.
Got my nails taken down.
Haven't worn a boxing glove.
Have not yet ever tried a boxing glove on.
Do you know what? Get your nails longer and stick them to the glove. You'd be like Sonny Liston. You know.
I was thinking Wolverine.
Oh, well, Wolverine's a better example.
Sorry. Welcome to the Word Up podcast. As you can tell, Luke and I just get stuck right into it. Talking about the boxing. My good friend Luke McGibbon, who is looking. Look.
I tried to flip my hair and there's
Look at you, and there's nothing. You're looking like a sex god. Like what the doesn't Luke actually look like he would buck your sister and not phone her back? Like, doesn't he?
I would call your sister.
Doesn't Luke look like he has some really good chat up lines?
Well, I mean,
but only out of courtely.
Yeah, I would call it a courtesy.
That's what I love about your humour as well. Sometimes it gets me a couple of seconds later.
Okay.
You know, you're like, he just said something really hilarious and I laughed at the first thing.
I'm trying something different today, by the way, as well.
What are you trying?
Right, so this I read this about, David Cameron, your man. Yeah. He used to apparently make a thing of needing to piss all the time because he said you make better decisions when you need to piss.
Oh really?
Like, so I filled up before I came here, and now I'm kind of. It has given me a little bit of
an edge.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little bit of spunk, but that's not how that works.
That's a different kind of needing to relieve yourself.
Yeah. No one comes onto a podcast and they're like, "I'm full of spunk. I'm ready. I'm ready
well,
to."
Well, then again, Americans like you spunky, don't they?
That's
they
true.
say, like,
Americans are I was about to say covered
full of
in spunk.
Yeah, covered in spunk. They're full of spunk.
Absolutely, their spunk runneth over.
So, will you tell me today during this podcast, like on a scale of 0 to 10 right now, Where are you on the need to piss scale?
Oh, do you know what? I'm only like a 5 or 6, but I'm feeling it. I do think it's giving me a bit more pizzazz.
You're starting at a 5 or 6?
I'm starting at a 5 or 6, yeah.
Right, okay, well, I'm going to come in here and say, when I came in here, I was at, like, ironically, a number 2, but I needed to pee.
Oh, okay.
But I thought to myself, I'll not, because it's not that bad. So right now, I'm probably at a 2 or 3, but I'm going to drink this whole Fanta lemon.
Yeah, you should. Do that before the fight as well.
Yeah.
Go into the fight needing a shit. I think that'll make you.
But then the worst thing happens. You could shit yourself and you'll walk off with shitty legs.
But is there nothing more discouraging to your opponent? Do you know what I mean? Run at her with.
You can hit me. Shit me.
You can't scare me any more than I scare myself.
Yeah, like absolutely. Job done. Do you get points taken off if you shit yourself in boxing?
I think in a charity match, it's probably all fair game, isn't it? Unless it's like a Crohn's charity, and then they're like, "Well, you're just making fun of us."
No, you're or you could end up getting sponsored by said charity.
You could. You could tenner.
Yeah, I love how I was so like built up to get this, like to get fit for it. Not so much the fighting, but just like, oh, this will be a deadly excuse to go to the gym because I actually have to go. And
how's it been?
I haven't been.
I think terrible. You're hustling. I think you're hustling.
Like at first, no, I'm really genuinely not. Like at first, I was like texting the group, Tyrone and stuff, and saying like, oh, when are we starting? Because the other group has started. Like they're already all in for it. Some of them are taking it wild serious.
Yeah.
And Tyrone was like, don't worry about it. You've still got like 12 weeks. I mean, I only trained for 9 weeks for a professional match.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
pretty good.
Totally cool. I'm professional. I'll only need the 9 weeks. No, everybody else has been in, and shit. But I had my first gig, you know, that first show last Friday.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Brilliant. Thank you so much to everybody who came out and everybody who came up to me and said that they listened to the podcast and that they love it. Like, it really got me right in the fields. Absolutely loved it.
Was that?
Yeah. Got to meet plug-in car guy in the face. Like, and it's weird because I talked to him on, like, say it's Instagram or something, and then, you know, whenever you associate, but on the Patreon, he's plug-in car guy.
Plug-in car guy?
Yeah, and I was like, and then I went, oh my God, so you're plug-in car guy? You know, like, it was just, nice. It was mad. It was really nice just to, like, put faces to people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You can directly address them as well.
Yeah, and Saoirse was there, and Leanne. Like, there was all these lovely people that, Louise, people that, like, I was going, oh, they listen, like they listen to it.
Oh, that's really sweet as well. Do you know what? Yeah, that is weird because somebody told me they'd see me on a podcast the other day, and I was like I was in my other job and I was like delivering the most dry ass, boring training, and they're like, "Oh, I've seen you in the podcast. It's all very funny and all," and I'm like, I mean, I'm about to give you 3 hours of the most boring stuff you've ever heard, but absolutely.
Oh, do you feel under pressure of like But then
better
that might take
better juggle.
That might take the pressure off because you're like, I'm funny in my normal life, but right now you can excuse me for being.
I like to keep a bit of separation. I like to let myself be a little boring in my day to day. But I do think sometimes eventually you sort of go, all right though, you should fucking say something.
Look, I can't get over you. I'm sorry, but I am really. Have you seen his hair? Like he always looked well before it. I never noticed how much of a difference this is a proper, like, you know, pick a drink love at the bar, but you know, what do you drink when you're buying it, kid? You know, like you're one of those. Have you got a chat up line?
No, I've not been single for 7 years, so I don't really know how to be. I don't know how to be
other than myself.
Yeah, just around myself. Here's my chat line. Hello. You know, that's
how are you?
All right. I was talking to my mate about this the other day, that like horny messages from men are very upfront, aren't they? And it's very much like,
there's my dick.
There's my dick here. It's all out there to go. Take it to go, or take it? Are you having it in the restaurant? Are you?
It costs extra if you want to sit in.
I want to sit in, but have it in a takeaway cup.
What do you call a prostitute with no legs?
Dunno.
Cash and carry. Sorry. Anyway.
But they're all up front. Whereas I find now, I've not had that many horny DMs from women in my life, but they're a lot less up front, aren't they? Because like the horniest DM I've ever got from a woman was somebody who I barely knew. In about.
Sorry, I'm taking my boot off.
No, here, go for it. Here, that's some boot as well.
I know. I sit on my foot all the time. Yeah, and it's a big boot. Yeah.
The horniest DM I ever got from a woman was somebody just sort of going, "Hey, you know, I haven't seen you in a long time. Why don't you give me a call and we'll talk?" And like, just you could tell.
Were you like, she's gagging for it.
There was a vibe. I'm talking like, this is like 10 years ago. This is like 2014.
That's the equivalent of the you up.
Yeah, that is a you up, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's the daytime you up, because you can't ask you up in the afternoon. It's
yeah. Haven't seen you in a while. And that means, are you still with that slut you were seeing last time? Like, any news, anything changed? See if I send a fella a message and it's like, well, what have you been up to? I haven't seen you in ages, babe. It's like, you still with her?
Yeah, little check-in.
Yeah, what's the crack? Do you know what I mean?
There was this girl I saw on Instagram who was posting how she gets a check-in message from someone checking if she's still in a relationship every 6 months, and it's really polite. Like, he just messages her and goes, just checking if you're still in that relationship. She's like, yep, still in love. Yeah. I think I love that
for him. No, that's absolutely, like, he's shooting his shot every 6 months. You can imagine he gets he logs on and he's like, we reminder.
Oh, he's got the
I'll have to check in with Laura today and make sure that she's still. Wonder, does he have one for every day? Like, he has like 365 women on the go that he wants to be with, but they're not.
Imagine if you get reminders to be creepy. Imagine getting that on your phone. Like, you know, a lot of women have wee alarms on their phone for birth control as well. If you ever hear somebody in the crowd's alarm go off during your set, like, that's usually someone taking their birth control as well. Just
oh my god, that's brilliant!
Tip,
do you know why? This is how much we are in comedy mode. Because whenever you said that, I was like, I must bank that. Like, if I even hear somebody getting a message, I'll be like, is that your re-notification? Take your pill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't blame no kids on me.
And it was great. You know, we kept coming back to that person throughout the night, just reminded him of being on birth control.
Is he on a promise tonight? Did your granny ever say that?
I've not heard that one.
Have you not?
That sounds very old school. On a promise.
It is very old school. And do you want to know something? It's also kind of creepy now that I think about it, because we grannies would say it. But whenever someone's on a promise, it would mean that they were definitely getting their whole that night.
It was DTF, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were down to fuck. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, they were down to
So it's like,
promise.
oh, he's on it. But then I suppose they might say that they were referring to something more innocent, like he's on a promise, like he was getting a kiss or something.
Aye, but they knew fine well they're talking about
They knew what they were talking about. Oh, are you on a promise tonight? Like, I've had it, like, say you were with, somebody said it to me years ago. It was my boyfriend at the time's mum, and say we were leaving, like, we were like, no, we're going to go up home, and she was like, oh, is he on a promise tonight? And I remember being like, that's maybe not right.
What is the promise? Is the promise, I'm going to pull out? Like,
yeah, no, I'm going to let you ride me.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let you.
The promise is from you.
Yeah, from me. He's on a promise. Like, I've promised him that he's getting lucky tonight.
Right. Oh, I get you.
I kind of really like saying stuff like that. Like, I'll let you.
I'll let you.
It's very consensual,
I
isn't
suppose
it?
it is consensual, but it also makes it feel, if it was me, I'd sort of go like, oh, it feels like you're giving me a gift, so you're not actually into it, if you know what I mean. Like, I'll let you fuck me. It's like...
Yeah. Are you one of those fellas as well that's like, if she's not DTF, then you're not? Like,
I think, I need to feel like I'm on the same level of keen. Do you know what I mean? There was this one time where it was like, no, and you know, this is going to make me sound like such a fuckboy. No. But
with that haircut, you're in the road, baby. You look class. Do not change that. That is fucking gorgeous. Like, I'm just saying, really suits you.
This is going to sound really grim because it makes me sound like such a... But it is like a long time ago. It was early 20s.
Go fuckboy.
Where this girl and I had been flirting, and we had this bet where if I won the bet, she was going to kiss me, right? Oh. And I won the bet. But she didn't seem that fussed, and I was like, you don't do that then. Let's just get back to just normal life now.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to hold up
like
your end of the bargain.
Kiss me. It's
hold on till I get my lawyer. This contract has been fucking broken. Like, absolutely not. No, I'm going to... No, it would have been brilliant though. Yeah. This is how you're too nice. Because see if that had been me, and it was like, I'll kiss you, and then I'd have been like, nah, I don't want my bet. I was trying to lose on purpose. You know, just to be an absolute...
Oh, she was trying to win now. She was trying... That was another thing that made me go, yeah, don't follow through on this.
Yeah.
If she's really trying to win, she can't be that into it. You know what I mean?
Like, there's guys who genuinely aren't, well, so believe, so they say, they're not attracted to the notion of going to a prostitute because the thought that it's transactional and that person doesn't want it in any way.
Sure, I get that.
Is like a turn off.
Yeah, I get that.
You know,
but then, you know, what's weird is that they would probably take money to have sex. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and they'd probably be fine with it themselves.
Absolutely,
you know?
I do it all the time. I'm only joking. Does a honey, I've clipped my tire on the side of a roundabout again? Like, does that count? I swear to God, like, it's really fucking hard.
I'd be such a shit prostitute as well. I'd be proper, because I'm you know, I'm too cheap, like, as a person. So I'd be like, I'd be waving a tip jar at the end. I'd be like, I would have brought my sum up card. Do you know those card readers?
Oh my God,
it'd be like, I don't have cash, and I'm like, well, don't you worry.
Don't you see?
Got a contactless symbol on my eyebrow. If you can just
fuck, you'd have the nails with the wee contact. Oh, you know, like where they have their chipping pin and a nail and an acrylic nail.
I'd like hold my tits together and I could put swipe.
Do you know? I actually was talking about this the other week to somebody. How I think it might have been DDJ. You know, whenever you're like,
do you call that too?
DDJ,
yeah.
You know, and it's just it's catchy, it's easy.
It is, yeah.
But you know how, like, maybe it's me, but you know, with my background and maybe Daddy didn't love me enough. But you know the way I'm one of those people. It's like, see, even if something was a tenner, if I'm at a jumble sale, or I worked in a restaurant before, and if I thought people's bill looked too big, I used to take stuff off it because I couldn't hand their bill over.
I'm terrible for that.
This is whenever I was only like younger, like, and you would go, what?
Yeah.
Giving them a bill for that much? Like, why is that so expensive? Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, no, you can't do that. So if I was a prostitute and they were like,
you'd be taking.
They were like, how much is it? And I was like, well, it's meant to be 50 quid, but just give me whatever you can. I mean, like, if you didn't think it was worth it, do you know what it is? Don't worry about it. I'll see you next time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't give me any. Here, I'll give you money.
It's 50 quid for the hour, but you lasted 3 minutes, so, you know, do the math.
I've heard of a guy who actually went to, I can't give any names or addresses or anything, but this guy who went to a prostitute, like, it was supposed to be £100, and she was supposed to be like a, you know, proper escort. And he escorted in about 3 minutes, and she was like, just give me 50.
Oh, that's very sweet.
And he gave her 50, but then he still sat in the tea room the next day bitching and went like, fucking 50 quid, like.
Well, absolutely. Do you know what's great? For him to complain about that means he has to admit to his mates that he came really quickly.
Yeah.
He's like, that's fucking, well, I lasted 3 minutes, but still charged me.
Still fucking 50 quid. I mean, technically, if it was supposed to be an hour, that averages out as about, what, 170 an hour? So, I mean, like, he should have only paid her like a tenner.
And you know what? Yeah, it's all about the working wage. You know what I mean? It's
working v living.
It's about you earn the burn. You know. I don't know what the fuck that means, but yeah.
I'm going to give you this week's word because I forgot almost the last time. Yeah.
UPBRAID.
UPBRAID. Do you know what this means?
Well, it makes me think like uproot is to pull something up by the roots, right?
Yes.
So is this to pull someone by the braids?
You're on the right road in terms of aggression.
Okay.
You know, in terms of the meaning or like a vibe behind the word. So to upbraid someone is whenever you scold or criticize them.
Okay.
So if you're upbraiding, like, you know, the teacher upbraided the children for their, you know, petulant behaviour.
Okay, yeah.
You know, that sort of thing.
It's a bit of a telling off.
And I just think it's a really, like, nice word for, you know, something that we usually, like, slabber.
You wee slabber.
You wee slabber. Don't you upbraid me. You know, can you imagine? I just really, my
the Lord
wish.
Of the Spides, the ambassador of the
Absolutely,
Spides.
I am the ambassador of the Smicks and the Smickettes.
Ferrero Rocher in front of the bonfire.
Oh, fuck, I love it. Yes, like if I was to run for an MLA, that would be I want to have the most well-educated bunch of Smicks. No, the most articulate bunch of Smicks in the town.
Yeah.
You know, so like the kids will come out and go, don't fucking upbraid me, you know what I'm saying?
These are fucking spurulous claims.
Yes. I really don't like her fucking licentious behaviour on the corner there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I think that's why I loved, like, words growing up as well. I was the wee dickhead that would come off with the random word and then be slagged about it. For trying to use a big word.
I know what you mean. Yeah. People go, how dare you fucking read? You
know
what I mean?
Yeah, like fucking actually running for. Have you ever been upbraided to the point where I think it's a good word to talk about because you can always sort of remember at least one time in your life where you've been scolded, or like what's your earliest memory of being told off?
I had a teacher in secondary school who liked to, there's some earlier ones, but the one that always stands out to me is this teacher I had in secondary school who, whenever she told you off, she always liked to pause for a couple seconds afterwards to make you feel awkward, and she'd be making direct eye contact at you for like until your eyes moved away, and then it was like she had won. And then there was this one time where
those wee fucking mind games that they
I
play.
hated that.
Like, what's going on there? Get a life. Do you know what I mean? Mate, I'm 13.
Exactly. I'm not fucking doing the art of the deal with you right now. You know what I mean? I'm not doing fucking handshake games with you, Miss Black. But like she did this thing where she did that to one of the other students in my drama class once, and he met her eyes, and she was there for like 3 or 4 seconds, and he goes, "This is nice."
Did he?
And that was great. I always remember that.
I love that. Like, to be
beautiful.
upbraided. There was a teacher, funny you saying that, it's really given me a flashback to, there was a teacher in school that used to do that quite a lot with us, and with me in particular. I was always being upbraided in school. Not for being particularly nasty or anything, just because ADHD is fuck and being quite excitable. But there was this teacher, and she always made a point of looking you directly in the eyes, right? And she would like be like, much. look at me. And I'm not the neurotypical type person, so I do sometimes have a problem with eye contact, especially when it's like certain circumstances. And I remember, but she had a big wide face, right? And just see, and may God strike me dead if I'm telling a lie, right? But I remembered that her eyes were that far apart that I couldn't look at both her eyes at the same time. So I remember I used to focus on one eye and then look at the other, and then, you know what I mean? It was like Wimbledon.
Yeah, you're fucking processing shit.
She'd go, now look at me, and I'd be like,
Look where? Do
you know what I mean? Like, fuck's sake, one eye was in jail and the other one was on bail. It was really like, it was a lot, do you know? Yeah. But getting upbraided in school, getting told off. I remember my granny telling me off as a kid, like, obviously, always. My granny, she didn't curse, really, but she would say, frigger. Like, she would call me a wee frigger. Yeah. And I used to think that was just a granny word. And I remember the first time I ever told my granny off, I was a wee babby, and I went to her, you're a wee frigger.
How did she react?
I just remember her face right now, like at the top of the stairs, and she did that thing that she always did to me, even throughout up until she was Dan, where she looked at me like she wanted to scold me, but she also wanted to laugh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So she was like, you know, the wee face, the wee thin lips, like looking at you like, just get down the stairs. And I was going, you wee frigger.
My ma had that whenever I said the word cunt in front of her for the first
time.
But you know what? That was mistaken identity. That not.
I thought you were my dad.
Sorry, Mo. I thought you were a cunt.
Yeah.
You were some cunt that I know.
I love it.
No, in P7 I heard somebody say it in class, and I didn't think it's not, because when you hear cunt, it doesn't actually sound like that bad a word. It compared to like fuck at the time. Fuck was
sounds
the big
worse.
leagues, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, whereas cunt just sounded like, it's just a made up one. It's like crap. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's wrong. So I said it in front of my mum, and she was like raging, but you could tell she did find it a little funny that because I said it in a song.
How did you say it?
I said it in a song. We were doing Mulan. And in P7 the musical was Mulan. And
please don't tell me it was Who Is That Cunt I See Staring Straight Back.
It was I'll Make a Man Out of You. And it was by Shang. I think it was. It was just a bit where he goes, "You're the saddest punch I ever met," and I went, "You're the saddest cunt I ever met."
I'm so immature because I am laughing. In fact, like you guys probably did.
Okay, yeah.
And what did your ma do? Was she like?
Oh, she was just very, very, very serious. But you could see the twitch of I want to react differently to this.
Yeah.
With, like almost pride. I would venture.
Yeah, the glint of pride in her eye. While at the same time, she has to tell you off because it's a bad word.
Like P7's quite early to be learning cunt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't
no.
it? Where did you win?
I already knew all the greatest hits from my age. I just wasn't allowed to say them yet.
Cunt.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's what I call a fucking wanker. Absolutely. Like I remember you saying that has made me think of whenever you're learning words and you don't know the literal meaning, so you think they're just nonsensical.
Yeah.
You had cunt.
I did.
I, ironically enough, had dildo.
Did you?
Yeah, like I thought dildo was a funny word.
It is a funny word.
Because it sounds like a made-up word. So
Yeah,
I
it sounds like
thought...
well, it is a toy.
I thought, it is. But I just thought dildo, like kind of like Bilbo Baggins. Like it was just a stupid word.
Oh, yeah.
Until I called my stepdad it. And I was like, dildo. And I'll never forget, my ma wasn't in the mood for it that day, so she didn't even think it was funny, which was terrible, because whenever she wasn't in a humorous mood. But she looked at me dead in the eye and she was like, don't you say that word. She really upbraided me, Luke.
She upbraided the
And I asked her what it meant. I was like, well, what is it? And she was like, just don't say it.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, what is it? It's just a funny word, Mummy, wise up. And she was like, it's not. A dildo is
She gonna say it?
a penis. And I just remember looking at her going, penis. But I was like, she didn't tell me a dildo was a false penis.
Do you think in a way the stepdad aspect of it was part of the problem, because the stepdad is kind of the dildo of the father?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
he's there in the same aspect. He is there serving your mother, but he's not the real thing that made you.
Absolutely. He's a plastic dad.
He's a plastic dad.
That would be a good name for a
your
dildo.
rubber daddy. The rubber daddy.
Rubber daddy.
Oh my god, I love it.
Great name for a dildo.
I did that quite a lot actually, but then it just shows
would.
you where I grew up, because I once also said to him, I thought that the phrase "cream your trunks" meant like
shit yourself.
Shit yourself.
Well, because it's a
creamy
feeling
texture.
to shit oneself.
And I once said that to him. He was washing the car and he asked me to go and get him something. I was like, all right, don't cream your trunks. And he was like, what did you just say to me? And I went, don't cream your trunks. And my mummy was like, get up here. He's probably going, what the fuck is this child learning?
Yeah, first of all,
From dildos to creaming trunks.
Creamy trunks.
What are you watching on Channel 5 after 10 o'clock in the evening?
Eurotrash, wasn't that? Wasn't that the one that everyone used to watch?
I
that taught
loved
them
a bit
about
of
sex?
Eurotrash.
Eurotrash was great. I mean, I can't remember a single fucking thing about it other than the odd tit.
Jean-Paul Gaultier wearing nothing but PVC, walking about in front of like a supercar.
How do you get that commissioned? Do you know what I mean? How do you go to Channel 4 like, all right, here's what we get.
We have an idea.
We get a load of rubber daddies.
Yeah, rubber daddies.
Stick them in a room.
That's what it is. Yeah, I do. But
French.
I love it, and I also like to upbraid my own children.
Do you mind me? You've said before. Is it how many children you got these days?
4.
4, right? That's manageable amount, I think.
1 is 1. 4 is 300.
I think it's weirdly like, isn't it? If this is what I hear, by the way, because I've not got a kid, I'm probably not gonna. But like, isn't it like the hardest bit's the middle amount? Isn't it? They say like 2 and 3 is harder than 4. Weirdly.
Yeah, that is strangely true, actually, because all right, you add 1 more onto it, and it is still mad. But I think going from 1 to 2 children was much harder.
I bet.
Than going up, because you're like, I've got this shit on lock. This
Aye.
parenting thing, sure, just give him to his daddy on the weekends. It's easy. And it genuinely was like, yeah, you know, when you have a bit of freedom and you've your wee baby there and you can manage one.
Aye.
And then you go, we'll add another one into this. And I think that's what it was for me as well whenever I had my second, because with Kai, you're like, it was different. It was like, wait, but you can't take this baby anymore with you at the weekend, and you've always got 2, and then you're like, oh my god, and he doesn't, and he was mad because the first one lures you into a false sense of security.
Right.
And then he came along and he was just like a gremlin. Like I remember crying one day trying to put him in his car seat because he was just fighting me, and I was just like, well, hey, stop it. Snatters trip me, you know, like I fucking don't want to do this anymore.
I think that's very common. Like, it
was terrible.
Yeah.
You know,
God,
now my other child, my newest, tries it, and I'm just like, you know, you do this.
Fuck up,
you do this ninja, like karate. See, whenever they straighten themselves up, you know, they do the surfboard where you can literally carry them underneath your fucking arm.
Yeah, become a suitcase.
Yeah, just like, get up on the shoulder, that'll do. I've carried him out of shops, just like,
that's really
straight
funny.
as a die, like Petrificus totalis, fucking underneath the arm, just like, get fucking out here.
Son seems to think he's a javelin.
Yeah, I feel like going,
yeah.
Miss Trunchbulling him. But I get him into the car now and see if he does that thing where he straightens up. I'm just like, karate chop. Like, nice. You know, to do this thing where you get him to bend and you're like, like I literally get into the car and I'm like,
it's like human Tetris.
It really fucking is. It's desperate trying to get in. I brought him to the forest the other day for a nice wee walk, and we went and it was lovely, and he had such a good time. He didn't want to get into the car. Well, fuck was I having that. Pulled his shoes off and all, and was like, no shoes on anymore, can't get outside in the rain. He was like, ah! Like my wee crotch goblin couldn't get him into the car seat, and I was like, trying to Aaron Mike Tyson this child into the back of the fucking car.
She thinks pretty smart.
And then you have to see, like, people in their cars, I kind of look around me because I'm like, thank God I'm a woman. Because they might think I was trying to steal this child. And there was somebody that actually stopped in their car at one stage and was like hanging around unnecessarily longly. And then Zeke started going, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. And they drove off. I think they were like, right, so that is that child's parent.
So what we have learned is if you're a paedophile, tell them that your name is Mummy.
Oh,
and that's the trick.
That would be the trick, wouldn't it? Oh, it's sinister.
Yeah, call me Mummy.
Do you know they say not to have those things on the back of your car? You know the where people have...
baby on board and all that?
Aye, and they have like the names, like they'll have like Jack, Jake and Jill and fucking...
Oh, yeah.
My parents like J names.
Right.
But they say not to have those.
But
then I think about, is it Dexter? Where the guy walks up to the kid and he's like, oh, I know your mom and Ben and all the rest of it. And you're like,
oh, that's really smart.
That's one way to get away from a kid.
You don't want to be waving your data around, I suppose, do you? Like, and it's the sort of thing as well where it's like some of that stuff, like your secret question, do you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know those like Facebook groups that are like, oh, old memories of Belfast from the 70s and pictures of Belfast from the 2000s. They love it. They're like made for scamming old people. Like, I mean, I don't know if they're actually made for that, but like you absolutely could, because people love posting shit there.
Do you remember when you lived around the Pound Loney next door to Jane?
And my mother's maiden name was Jameson, and my first pet's name was Donut, and my password is fucking Metal Gear and all this shit.
Metal Gear, did you just say?
Yeah, that was
that's from working on the shipyards. Proper Metal Gears.
That was my first ever password. It just came to mind.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
PA55WRD.
No, serious? Yeah. Oh, that's old school shit.
That was whenever you worked in the call centre. Everybody's password was that until you changed it.
Yeah, then they do that thing where they make... Oh, I fucking hate this in a minute. Where you have to, like two-factor authentication where everything you log into, they're like, and the password's right, but circle this all. Do you know what I mean? Tell me where the Land Rover is in this picture or whatever.
Oh my God.
That fucking shit. And
that really
melts my head.
Baffled me because like overthinker status, it's like find the traffic lights. And then there'll be, you're stuck with the conundrum of,
there's a bit on an
that
edge.
is a traffic light, but that's the pole of the traffic light. Do you only want the lights?
Right.
Or do you want the entire traffic light?
Get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, well...
Tell me where this is.
You want the bicycle? Does the motor bicycle count? I tell me how do you overthink something?
And
like,
they go,
really...
circle where Madeleine McCann is and they show you a map of Portugal.
I am a robot.
Please.
That's terrible. Like, you're terrible, Muriel. You're terrible.
That thing about the shoes though in the forest, I think, is really smart, because it's like you learn, I think, these wee hacks, don't you? Because I used to do the support work job, and there's this guy who it was a nightmare to get out of bed, but obviously you can't really be too forceful getting somebody out of bed, and if they don't want to, they don't want to, you know. But what we figured out is that once he's out of bed, he's grand. So like, he woke up in the morning and you'd hand him a glass of water and he would drink it, and then sometimes you'd give him a second glass of water, and then he needs the toilet, he goes to the toilet and he's up, and then it's like, you see, little
work smart, not hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't this what they say?
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
Piss content today. I keep bringing a lot of piss to you.
We do. Where are you on the scale?
Do you know what? I've gone down, which was worrying. Have I pissed? Like, I think I'm on like 3 now.
If that light behind you starts flashing, it's the electric shorting out.
That actually looks like a UV as well. That's just in case you want to make sure that none of the other podcasts have done any jizzing before.
Oh yeah, that's what we do. We have to check it with the black light, don't we? Look?
Thing, you know.
I love the fact that we have two looks in the room. And when I introduced you, I know that it didn't get picked up, but I was like, look.
Oh yeah, we get it. I imagine it's a lot too. Yeah,
your whole life, like
living life as a verb. That's the problem.
Oh my God, love is a verb. Look is a doing word. Do you get that? Did you get that a lot in school?
Oh God, yeah. Look over there and all
look
that
where?
Stuff. Look. Do you know what's weird about it? It always baffles me. Is everyone always thinks of the first one to say it, and it's like, nah, mate, you're not. You know?
Do you get people that are actually like, oh?
Oh yeah.
Every day,
and do you know what?
Do you?
Yeah.
Stop.
It stops by about, what age are you like, if you don't mind me asking?
25.
Yeah, you're close to it stopping now.
Are you?
Mid-20s, late 20s when it stops, I think.
I just envisioned Luke as a big train that was like slowly coming to a stop on the tracks there. That's how my visual memory works. I thought you were going to be a bit sad about that. Will you not miss it?
Oh no. not at all.
No?
Like some of my earliest memories ever, like nursery school.
Oh god.
People going, look over
I am
there."
your father.
Still, and then like it happens.
My dad does like to say I am your father, though he does. Which, in fairness, it is kind of funny when he does.
That is brilliant. Does your daddy do that?
Oh yeah, he loves that.
Your daddy's a regular old comedian. I love it.
Don't tell him that now.
Does he go, look?
Doesn't need encouragement.
You need to get a video of that for your like TikTok. If your dad going, look, I am your father.
I don't know. Maybe I should.
The Irishman version of like the Darth Vader. Instead of no, you go, nah. Jeremy Kyle comes in with the all-important DNA results.
he heckled Shane a bunch of years ago as well. So my dad
Did he?
I think Shane probably still remembers because I wasn't at it, but I just realised I'm hogging the buttons.
No, go.
But yeah, it was in like the black box in the green room, so only a wee room. So I think Shane was doing support for somebody. I think he was famous, but I think he just wanted a bit of stage time. So
just to do like a few minutes.
Apparently, it wasn't going super great, and it was one of the few times someone heckles and it worked out all right. You know, because like sometimes people heckle and it's like, God, will you just fuck up, mate? And then other times it's like if you play off it, it can kind of work. But also, I still don't welcome it. But like, I think in this time, it actually did seem to bring a bit of life. Because I said to Shane afterwards, "Oh, sorry about that." Shane was like, "Nah, it's all right. It's fine."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might have just been being nice. I don't know, to be honest. But like, it was one of those things where it's like, do you know people who don't do stand up a lot, and if they see someone do badly, they can't be convinced that person's actually a good comedian. Like, they see someone do badly and they're like, oh, well, they're just always bad. And then, like, they're like, I saw Shane Todd, I didn't think he was very good. And then, like, he's on the radio and they're like, what's he doing on the radio? Sure, he's shit. And I'm like, he's great. And then he's, like, doing the SSA. And they're like, what's he doing in the SSA?
Because it's really funny.
You gotta take my word for this now. I'm like, he is good. He is good. Do you know what I mean?
You might have saw him in a wee tiny room with 2 people in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what it was. And they were the 2 people, probably.
The only 2 people in it. Yeah, my aunt tackled Paddy Raff.
No way.
Yeah, in the pavilion.
I was there at that.
Yeah, she got shit-faced drunk and melted his head.
Absolutely. But it was funny, though. But I
no, she's not allowed to go to any more gigs anymore. Like, absolutely not.
She went up the tour, no?
No, fuck, absolutely not. No, she
literally... You take her shoes off so she can't leave the house. You're like, can't walk on the floor without these.
I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her really since that.
What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I was...
She's like, can't take you fucking anywhere.
Paddy Raff, in my experience, has an unlimited temper. I've never seen him angry or... I've seen him irritated, and that was about as far as I've seen him get.
Yeah.
And
do you know what
like, will you fuck up?
Do you know what I used that you did before ages ago, and it just stuck with me ever since? When like a crowd's being a wee bit rowdy. I remember you're the unlimited temper person for me, and you went, shh, shut the fuck up.
Was that me? That does sound like me.
And I went, that's so class, because it was like soft but yet really passive aggressive. Yeah. So now I do it without thinking now, and I did it. I think it was a few weeks ago, and I was like, shh. Shut the fuck up. And everybody laughed, and I was like, I really feel like, like bibliography, Luke McGibbon, circa 2021 in Pavilion, do you know what I mean? But it's just because you start off nice, but then you're ending with the...
I think sometimes crowds have to be a little bit scared of you. That you might say something mean to them. You know, if the crowd think you're too nice, they might walk all over you. So sometimes I talk to people just to show people I can talk to them, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, sometimes a crowd can tell if this is a purely material comic just reading bits, and they're like, if I say something, he'll have nothing. And then they fucking say something.
Aye. So you're like, you want to fucking say something else?
Leap off the stage and throw digs or whatever. Yeah. There was somebody got like pulled. This was a million years ago, but somebody got like pulled out of a gig once, and I had like a shouting match with him from the stage. What? And he was like, and it was a sign up on the night gig. That's how long, because it was pre-Maddens, but there was a gig that did that years ago in fucking Dirty Onion even, and he was, and I was like, why don't you fucking do it? You know, I was gonna hand the mic to him, and he got up, and his mate went like pulled him down. Don't fucking do this to yourself. Yeah. And then like during William Thompson was on after me, and I'm
gonna take your friend card off you after
this.
Oh
yeah. I would subtract all friendship from somebody who I knew was a fucking melt at a gig. Like, but he kicked off during William Thompson's set afterwards, and like got dragged out of the room by a bouncer. And I can't remember what William said. It was just something along the lines of like, his ma's calling him home for dinner or something, and like, it was proper tore the room up.
Did he actually say that? Whenever he was leaving to try and...
Ask him, he probably remembers it better than I do now, because I think it was a great victory.
William's very quick that way too, isn't he?
Yeah, bulletproof.
I always think of, I left the iron on. Do you remember the advertisements for Red Bull or something like that? And there's like it was a radio advert, and it was like a man doing an Evel Knievel, like rolling up on his bike. and he's about to jump off like a 200-foot cliff. Oh, it was airwaves. And then it was,
Right.
he eats the airwaves and he goes, actually, I left the iron on. And he like cycles home. I know what the fuck.
Oh, I get that all the time. Do you get that? And you're like, and the last time I did a gig in Dublin, which is a while ago now, it's always about just as literally as I cross the border, part of me goes, you left the stove on. Not the stove, or the hob. You left the hob on.
The stove?
And the stove.
Beatrix Potter here. Fuck's sake.
I left my spinning wheel spinning.
I left it.
How will I feed the village?
Oh my god, I absolutely love it. Yeah. Spinners. Do you know that there's another word for a, you know the way you're a spinster?
Aye.
If you're a woman who hasn't been married over the age of 21 or whatever.
Aye.
Back in the day. There's another level. You can level up from spinster.
Ooh, God.
And
what's higher?
It is. It's on the
Munter.
tip. It's on the.
Where did munter come from as a word, actually? I want to know
Where
the
did
etymology of that.
munter? Let's find out. But
I'm afraid it might be something tragic now. What if we look it up and it's like it's
Munter.
actually after Eileen Munt, who died by suicide because people kept calling her ugly. Like, oh, no.
from here on out, can we start that rumour?
Yeah, yeah.
Eileen Munter was a really lovely woman.
Yeah,
and she
beautiful
just had the
in her own way.
misfortune of being born non-aesthetically pleasing.
Non-aesthetically pleasing is a very nice way.
Should one eye go into a shop and the other one coming home for the change?
You try and look him in the eye, but you need a taxi.
It's like it's like the human version of the Gruffalo. She has horrible teeth and horrible toes and a horrible wart at the end of her nose. Her name is Eileen.
Is the Gruffalo the one in the forest? Is it? Is
Yeah.
That I didn't actually catch that one. That was the James
Did you
Corden
not?
one, wasn't it?
We were aged out,
Oh,
and
we
you
were
haven't
aged
had
out, in
kids,
fairness.
so you haven't had the misfortune
No,
of having
no.
to read the Gruffalo.
No, I only know the media that the cats watch. Do you know what I mean? I only know all about,
The cats.
Oh yeah, they're my children.
Your
I'm
cats?
I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those fuckers.
See,
You know
I
what
tend not to trust men who like cats because usually they're only Bond villains.
I actually.
Do you know what I mean?
I do sometimes.
If there's a
get
guy
them.
that has a cat, it's like he's murdered someone.
Sometimes Sarah does come home and I am on this spinning chair with one of them on my lap and I get to do the full thing.
Do ya?
Oh God, Oh,
Hello, Mr.
That's
Bond.
why you get him. Yeah, that's why you get them. You know.
Oh
Hard
my
to not,
god.
like.
Oh, it's great. It's great. You know.
I love it.
You can't really do that with
Do you
like a
go,
hamster.
I want
Do
you
know
to
what I mean?
die.
You get.
We're not so different, you and I.
There's somebody I know with like a pet snake, and you can't really do that with a pet snake or something, you know. Now that's a sign of a creepy dude. A guy with a pet snake. They're usually,
Reptile lovers.
They're fuck boys, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, men who have snakes, it's like penis extension, isn't it? It's like, look at my big anaconda. Well, when you told me I was coming home to see your big snake, I didn't fucking think you meant you actually got it down in the Blackstaff Mill. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Oh here, they don't know about that. We said
that was a
before
callback to.
Call back to something we weren't recording.
We were talking about the
different
Blackstaff
office.
Mill where we used to record.
Yeah. Is
Back
it fancy now?
Yeah, back whenever we were millies. I should have called it the Millie podcast.
That would have
But-
been fun. Yeah.
I miss I don't miss it in that I enjoy being warm and having vending machines and
It is
things like
warm
that.
right here, yeah.
It is warm and sans the smell of piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like you'd have to. What was it? If you said I'm just going to the toilet, Sean would say, "Oh, you have to bring your own toilet paper."
The
and
first question
soap."
you got
your own
asked
toilet,
whenever
like-
you said
Yeah.
you needed to go to the
Yeah.
toilet was, do you really need to go? It was, how badly on a scale of 0 to 10
Yeah. Are you desperate?
do you really need to go? Can you piss? Do you have the ability to piss without touching anything
Yeah.
around you? Can you flush
Yeah.
a chain
It's Mission
without using
Impossible
your
with the lasers,
hands?
isn't it? That's you do it with a
Yeah.
piss.
Like, I never went to the toilet in there. Ever.
Yeah, I did it a couple of times, but I'm a brave pisser. I like to feel the cold on my arse and sometimes balls.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You would give someone your RB toilet roll that was sitting in there and you'd
Yeah.
be like, Godspeed.
yeah, and it was
Like-
like a weathered toilet roll as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That toilet roll had
Wet
seen,
toilet roll.
I'd seen the Korean War or something.
Korean War?
You weren't there, man.
You don't know, I've seen some things, man.
There was something we were saying before, like what's nicer about this place you can tell immediately is that it's got carpet and the other place didn't. And then we talked a bit more, it's like actually the only place that had carpet in the old place was the toilet. Which is like,
Toilet?
that's not where you put it. That's
Yeah.
one
That's the
bit.
worst
That's
place.
that soaks it in. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
like if you go into a wee granny's house and there's carpet in their toilet and they usually
That's
have one of
classic
those
shit.
wee doilies that sit over the toilet roll.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like a
the wee
cake
doilies.
topper for toilet roll.
Yeah, or like the little plastic cover as well that you lift it. It's like Who needs this? Who asked for this?
They have we embroidered things on the wall that say things like, if you sprinkle when you tinkle, be sweet and wipe the seat.
Oh, some grannies, that was too vulgar. They would be talking about things that weren't the toilet. Do you know what I mean? They'd be like, I don't know, don't mention them.
Like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like think of God. You know?
If you shake it more than twice, you know that's playing with it, and you have to go to confession.
You've done a wank there, sir. You've accidentally done a wank.
Yeah, like
imagine broiling that.
God bless
all
you.
Day.
Oh fuck, stop it. I love it. I was talking, or Luke.
If you cream when you stream.
If you scream while you cream. Get your blessing, go to confession. But yeah, you could actually buy all sorts of weird stuff down there. But I loved it because it was like you would walk down the corridor and you would be like, oh, human rights lawyer who specialises in rights for trans people. That's pretty cool.
Was that there? Did they have someone?
Yeah. Somebody called Eileen. I could never remember the surname because I'm ADHD as fuck. And then on down, it was like, ooh, world class ceramicist.
Yeah.
I just really like saying ceramicist.
Ceramicist is a good word.
Ceramicist. And then you would be like, ooh, there's a sexophonist, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, the place that sold the lizards, was it?
Lizards?
Sorry, you got to the bottom of the bad smell.
Yeah, there's a bad
when
smell
we were
right
leaving. There. So there was a bad smell, and I thought it was
the epilogue.
The zoors. I say zoor. I say it as if it's with a Z.
Zoor.
Sewer. Do you
French.
say sewer?
I don't know if I said it very much. Sewer. Yeah. I know I've said it out loud. That's how I
Way
say
round the corner of your breath's like a sewer.
Sewer.
A there. Well, I thought it was the sewers. I was like, it's going to be really... I was walking down the corridor thinking, I'm going to really miss this place. And then I get hit up the face with what could only be described as shite. And I was like, no, I'm not going to miss this. I'm not going to miss that smell, right? And to be fair, it wasn't always that smell. But that particular day, the shite was rife.
It stank.
And I was like... yeah, this is putrid. And then Luke was saying that he walked past a room where there were all these like reptiles in cages. Do you know what I mean?
Wild.
Like just all sitting in their wee boxes, like all random exotic animals. So yeah, I missed like passing Joe Exotic's pantry. You know,
yeah.
I want to go.
Exotic.
Jerry Exotic.
Jerry Exotic, yes. Jerry Exotic, bring back Jerry Exotic. Like going down to the Blackstaff Mill to get your wee jar of sea moss.
Yeah.
Your taquitos, delicious tacos, and then go upstairs and get yourself a wee lizard while you're at it. It was just a fucking menagerie.
It's all next to each other as well. We're saying something about like the wee taco place. No,
wee taco place was great.
Yeah,
wasn't
it? Yeah. What meat are they getting? You know.
Taquitos. Oh, maybe that was. Yeah.
And I know I made this joke before we were rolling, but like you know, you like look at the meat in the taco and it changes colour because it's chameleon. You know.
Yes.
Sort of thing. But,
I love it. And if you get that in the curry place, it's a korma chameleon.
That's great.
Korma chameleon. You smell like coal. You smell like coal. Do you want to hear we are no longer doing the dirty word of the week.
Are you not?
On this? Because if you want
now?
to hear the dirty word of the week, you do have to become a Patreon.
You dirty bastards.
Terms and conditions apply. I wasn't willing to come against the litigation, you know, freedom of speech, etc., etc. I'm just talking nonsense now. But I decided to do a new one, which was, what did we call it last time? Watch your mouth, or basically how to slag someone without being rude.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's how to, like, be offensive
licentious
without cursing.
You used this earlier, you know.
I did use this earlier.
You were talking about upbraiding someone for being... No, it was the posh Smick, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't like that licentious behaviour there on the corner.
Licentious behaviour. So, on the corner? Well, that makes it whorish.
Yes!
You can only whore on a corner. Hey, yeah, you can't. Yeah. Why can't you whore on a rounded area?
I don't know. My ma said my dad used to her and tour. He went all over the place to her. He didn't just stick to one corner.
I just like the idea. He's got a little tour bus.
I know, the her on tour. A wee daddy wagon. Or with a rubber daddy stuck to the top of it.
What was the daddy thing we said earlier? I was trying to remember.
Yes, instead of an aerial, you know, for the radio, it's just a dildo. Rubber daddy.
Licentious. So that'd be somebody licensing out their body, I suppose.
Yeah, so it's like it's seen as promiscuous or unprincipled behaviour in terms of unprincipled. It's very judgmental,
so it's
isn't
like
it?
you're either a whore or you don't love the rules. That's that's what that word applies to. Then it's quite that's quite broad, isn't it? It's like your littering is. Imagine someone called you a fucking slut for littering.
For littering? I said littering like a fucking culture. Littering. You've been fucking littering, you big hoorie. They do that.
Do you think
they do that in the country? They're like, you fucking hoorie.
Foreplay, they do that with the word clitoris. Do clitoris.
Show us
your clitoris, sir. Well, yeah.
Show us your clitoris. I put my finger right on the clitoris, sir. That sounds like they're checking cows. See if they're pregnant or something. You know, they're putting the big fucking thing on. You know, the big long. Imagine
the chubby boy.
No, do you know the way they get the big fucking glove that goes all the way up to their shoulder and they shove it up a cow's hole? I'm convinced at this stage. I was watching that country vet or something. I was probably too hungover to turn over the TV one morning back in the drinking days.
That's good hungover TV.
And that's whenever I came to the conclusion that like any medical condition that you need to determine with regards to a cow can be found out just by putting your hand up its hole.
Wow, that's incredible.
Like your hand goes up its arse. Like see whenever they're scanning, they're not putting that up the vagina.
There's just straight up the arse.
Just stick it up the arse.
That's how I talk my way into anal sex. I'm like, I'm just checking, you know, I need to know you're alright. Actually, that only works if I'm having sex with a cow, doesn't it?
Well, I knew you were a big cow whenever I brought you home. Like, you fucking fat cow. Like, I'm just checking to see if you're pregnant before I do anything here.
I don't know why I'm doing it like kung fu here as well.
Yeah, I know. What way do you go in?
There are dudes whose job is to wank a cow as well, isn't there? Because it's like they can sell the jizz, especially if it's like a good cow. So
there's a big market for it in America and the States where they have like prize bulls.
Right.
And I'm sure it's the same over here, but I remember watching an episode of CSI, right?
Okay.
Where there were these bulls at the rodeo, and you know the way there are certain bulls that like the cowboys want to go up against.
Aye.
And their semen can be sold by the vial for like astronomical amounts of money.
How do people know it's from the good bull? Do you know what I mean? You could just give them some dud spunk from a different cow, and then just
your ma.
Yeah.
You know, is a bull still a cow?
Bull is a male cow.
Right.
So it's if you hear somebody saying they've milked a bull, they've
Jimmy Savile's fixed it.
Yeah.
They've milked a bull, so they're talking bull.
Yeah. They're saying if someone's milked a bull, they've jerked a cow off, basically. But like, well, I mean, speaking like I'm an expert here, I don't know fuck all.
You are the expert.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna deep throat the mic again now. Can't even give my lips around it. See, I knew I'd be bad.
Go try.
I knew I'd be terrible giving blowjobs. Sometimes I choke on my toothbrush, you know. Yeah, see,
have you ever had speaking of which, have you ever had that thought? The man sit and go, wonder if I was to give one, would I be good at it?
I see. I think a lot of men talk a big game. Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of them think they'd probably be great at it, but it's a whole new. Like you may have one, but you've never had one from that angle. Do you know what I mean? You've never had it. You never put your mouth around it.
It's like people who say they watch a lot of comedy, so they would be able to do comedy. Do you know what I mean?
Here's a joke for you, mate. Yeah.
And you're going to yourself, well, you've sat in a lot of chairs, but you can't make a good chair unless you're a carpenter.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. You know.
Yeah, my friend was telling me that her kid. This is hilarious. It actually really tickled me. He's like 17, so he's old enough, but his phone is linked up with her Google account.
Aye. Oh,
so
danger.
She was looking the other day and she noticed that he'd been Googling, what age are you when your dick stops growing? And he came down to the kitchen, and her and the dad turned around and were like, what the fuck are you Googling? Like, what is going on? And he started laughing. He was like, me and my mate were just curious.
I think that's, and
I was like, do you know what?
Be curious. Yeah.
I'm happy for them. I'm glad the kids can do. Do you know what I had to do whenever I was like, one of my tits is bigger than the other? What do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
You got fucking More magazine.
Oh, yeah. And
or
there's some terrible advice.
Terrible advice. You have cancer, go to the doctor. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot of ice cubes in there in them magazines. They're always like, sex tip, throw an ice cube in there, rub an ice cube on it, rub an ice cube over his nipples. Yeah. Who wants that?
I remember it was like, blindfold him and then start kissing his nipples. He'll get like excited because he'll not know where you're going to next. And you'd be like,
Well, round the nipples probably. That seems to be where they are.
Love, last time my boy was blindfolded, he was being fucking hijacked. You know what I mean? You can't do that now because it was PTSD.
I think male nipples had a real moment there for a while, and I don't think anyone wanted it. I think I've never really enjoyed having my nipples messed around with. It's too tickly. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's too.
I have this thing about symmetry though, so even if I'm messing someone about and I like tweak your nipple, I have to tweak the other one.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
Because then in my mind at like 4:00 in the morning, I'll be like, I left one of Luke's nipples untweaked. So now his right nipple's running about there and it knows me.
Yeah, when you're texting people like you up, you're actually just trying to go, or you turn up at their house and you just go, and then leave.
That's it.
Yeah.
My taxi's waiting. Told him to wait on me.
Yeah. Yeah, the meter's still running.
Yeah. I fucking love it. Have you ever sent a you up message, or have you been too monogamous for most of your life? No, or a you up?
Oh, a you up? Yeah. No, I've had some little moments.
Have you?
I've had some, you know.
Have you had some hoorish, licentious moments?
I've had some licentious moments, but I not for particularly long. Because I would try and do
2 minutes at most.
I would
Wait!
I'd have to pull
50 quid.
I have to pull out the rubber daddy after that,
yeah. They should still do. Most fellas just fall asleep. Don't care anymore.
Well, the job's got to get done.
Yeah. Give us a minute.
I think there was a lot of things I did that were meant to be casual ended up becoming serious because I don't really think I could do even something casual with somebody whose company I don't enjoy. Yeah. And then if you enjoy their company, then you end up it just ends up being a thing. Do you know what I mean?
I dead ass thought you were going to say most of the things that started off as casual ended up as serious because I don't know how to say no to people. Because that's usually me.
There used to be a bit of that too as well. There used to be, but no, I think if I didn't say no, then I'd get a weird sense of dread that would be my no. Because there was times when I went back to people's houses and I was like, all right, we're gonna, and then I would sort of go, I'm not actually that into this person, and then I'd like feel this weird sense of horror and dread, and I'd sort of go make an excuse and then go, and this happened like 3 times to somebody who I went home with 3 times, and each time I was like there for about 20 minutes and then sort of go, all right, well I better hit the old dusty trail, and like Alan Irwin, another comedian, was seeing her roommate. And eventually they were like, what's Luke's deal? Why does he keep coming home and then not sleeping?
Sealing the deal.
And Alan didn't really know what the answer was because I didn't really have an answer. I was just like, I just want to leave when I get there. So he very diplomatically said, oh no, yeah, he has erectile dysfunction. But weirdly, I was like glad that thanks for telling her I have erectile dysfunction.
Thank you. I'd rather be limp than call a girl ugly. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's just it. She wasn't ugly. I just wasn't interested.
Yeah, it's like, no offence. I just really don't find you attractive. You know,
and I don't realise.
No offence.
I don't realise until I'm home at your house. You know?
Shame. You know that saying, shame on me if you fool me once. Shame on you if you fool me once. Shame on me if you fool me twice.
Yes.
Well, that's really shame on me if you fool me once.
True.
Shame on me if you fool me twice, and shame on me again for the 3rd time.
I think the 3rd time now I got. Do you know what it was? Because I'd technically restarted the clock because in between the 2nd and 3rd time
it had someone else.
I got circumcised.
Oh.
So it was kind of like, I've got a new dick if you want to see it. Like it looks all different now. You know?
New dick, new me.
And she was like, this means nothing to me.
I haven't even seen it the first time. I didn't recognise you there because I've never seen you before.
Oh yeah. Get circumcised, some crack as well.
Is it? Did you get circumcised? Sorry, but can I ask this?
23 years old. Yeah.
So what was it like? Was it like scary?
It was a little scary. I did it in the NHS, and so they put me on a minibus with a load of people and sent me to Mullingar, which I don't know why.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I snottered and everything. I just didn't expect that.
Mullingar of all places, yeah. Centre of Ireland, that must be where they keep all the foreskins.
All the foreskins are kept in Mullingar.
I left it there anyway.
Foreskin County. I left my foreskin in Mullingar.
In the minibus, I realised that we were all there to get dick-related operations. There was guys getting testicles removed, vasectomies and all that stuff.
Oh, fuck. I'd have been like, make sure you don't confuse me. What's your name, to make sure it's really different from mine?
The banter bus. Yeah, absolutely. There's some crack. Do you know what?
The banter
we all stopped at an Applegreens and everyone got a McFlurry, which I think says something about the moods there.
Oh, that's lovely. Like, you're losing your balls today, mate. Get a McFlurry. It'll make everything better. Yeah. Nothing says I've got a full testicle retrieval operation about to happen than a
Some
crunchy.
Smarties. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get crushed Smarties? Crushed Smarties. That sounds way too on the
Imagine if they put that in
nose.
front of you.
Yeah, like you want these? Right, we're just gonna get a load of Smarties here now. Watch.
You can be awake for it, or you can be fully asleep for it. And I opted to be fully asleep because I'm like, I don't want to
I don't want to hear the scissors.
I don't want to hear it or get the vibe of it. And yeah, and then I woke up and I took off the bandage and I was like, whoa! And they were like, yeah, that's just swelling, don't worry. But for a minute, I was like, yeah. Hey.
Why didn't I get those done years ago? Because I've heard the people who get circumcised can't walk for like 2 years after it.
2 years? No, I mean, you can't wank for 2 weeks. That's
No, you
about
can't
it.
walk for 2 years because you're usually only a newborn whenever you get it done.
There's a lot of crying. There's a lot of crying.
You cry non-stop, like you don't sleep the whole night through for fucking years after it.
So lose the part. They're not even able to speak, really.
You can
I
use
can't
that one.
articulate Actually,
Yeah.
I have a joke. It's too similar about postnatal depression. But
Oh, really? Go.
It's on my TikTok. Sure,
It's on your
Get
TikTok.
on the
Go and
get
look
on
at-
the fucking TikTok.
Go and look at the fucking TikTok and see if you want to. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to hear the dirty word of the week, please consider subscribing to our Patreon. Or will we be like those dickheads that my kids watches? Like and smash that like button.
Smash it.
Smash that like button and
Fucking
subscribe.
pound it.
Go over to
Don't be
patreon.com.
licentious.
Type in don't be a licentious
I'll braid
jerk.
your fucking ass.
I love it. A braid your ass sounds like I just got a big image
Hairs, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
there.
Yeah.
Someone with like a ponytail
like an
hanging
asshole
from
like Lara Croft.
Yeah. And on that note, thank you very much.